Have you ever wanted something so bad that every rejection felt like a punch to the chest? In just 17 months, that's between November 2017 and March 2019, I faced over 26 plus rejections. I'm sure that the rejections were way more because I kept on deleting emails because at some point that was my only way to cope. Despite all of these rejections, here I am today, a permanent resident of Canada, and I finished my master's in Canada with a fully funded scholarship. So today I want to share with you the story of resilience. So if you're at the edge of giving up right now, if it's admissions, scholarships, or anything you're currently pursuing, this story is for you. So let me take you through how it all started. So I graduated with a first class degree. I was the best graduate student in my class. My CGPA was 4.93 out of 5.0. So I had really high hopes. Everyone around me was like, Marianne, with this grades, you're definitely going to get scholarships. So of course, I thought the journey was going to be easy. I started applying everywhere. I applied in Europe, I applied in Australia, to New Zealand. I applied to so many schools. And truth be told, most of my applications were concentrated in Europe because, again, I wanted to stay close to family. And I was scared at first to move to a completely new country where I knew no one. Each application took hours, sleepless nights, references, essays, statements of purpose, researching universities. There were times where I was having just 4 hours of sleep each day just because after work I would stay up almost all night just writing essays and statement of purposes. Every time I hit the submit button, my heart will be pounding, just hoping and praying that this is the one that works. And then the email started coming in. We regret to inform you. Unfortunately, we received so many strong applications. At first, I shrugged them off, and that's because mainly I was getting admissions, so I had admissions overflowing in my inbox. But the scholarships were not coming. The scholarships for some reason were not coming. So I would get the admissions, and the accompanied scholarships would not come through. And I would shrug them off like, okay, it's just one or two. But after it started to come in 10, 15, 20, and then it's really started to hit me. It really, really started to hurt. There were nights where I know I sat up in my room crying till like 2 a.m. in the morning. What's it? Am I good enough? Is this the end? Are these opportunities not for me? Self doubt really started to creep in, and I felt like I was wasting my time. I went as far as even getting application forms for admissions in universities in Nigeria for my master's. And I went on to write entrance exam for two. And I actually got admission for one of the universities I applied to. But luckily for me, ASU went on strike, so I didn't even have to resume. I still lingered on to hope. I had a community of friends where we were also applying for scholarships, so that was also like a community of support. I knew that I had come too far to let go. Rejection after rejection was a learning experience for me because with each application, I learned how to tell my story better. The scholarship that I won for my master's in Canada, I only applied for that scholarship once. So here are a few things that I made sure that I did better as I did more applications. Number one is I told my story better. I made sure that my stories were personable in my personal statements, that there was a strong why behind my motivation for choosing a school or for needing a scholarship. I made sure that I connected my past experiences, my current experiences, and what I hope to gain in the future. I made sure that I was literal as possible and drew all of the connections to why I was a strong candidate. I did not leave it for the imagination of the admissions committee. I continued to customize my application, not copying and pasting randomly, but making sure that my story was in line with the mission, the values of any scholarship app I was applying to. I was also very careful to ensure that, my research interest or my professional interest in learning was also aligned with the mission and values of, the university, as well as the kind of courses and the kind of faculty staff that that department had. And you know what I did differently? Whenever I got rejected, I always asked for feedback. Yes, some people did reply and respond to me, and others did not, but that's fine. But for each person who responded and gave me feedback, it helped me to make a better application for my next application. I was very conscious about building a strong profile. So I made sure that I was volunteering more, I was doing more courses online, I made sure I was learning tools that were relevant for my graduate program. And finally, I never gave up on prayers. Faith kept me grounded. I prayed. I thanked God. and I put in the effort. And then on March 28th, 2019, I got the call that I had won a fully funded scholarship. And do you know what's crazy about all of this? I just received a scholarship rejection a few days before, so I was completely down. And then the surprise call came in. And the crazy part was they had been trying to call me for over a week, but they couldn't get to me. The school that I applied to was the only school that I've actually applied to ever in Canada because, like I said earlier, Europe was my target and I didn't want to stay too far from home. But you see, sometimes where you feel like you don't know want to go, that is where your miracle is hanging. So imagine if I had given up on rejection number 20 and decided that I was not doing this anymore. Imagine if I had believed the lie that I wasn't good enough or I wasn't worth it, or if I had allowed myself to wallow in self doubt. So if you are facing rejections today, remember a no is not the end. Rejection is often redirection, and you only need one yes to change your life forever. And remember, failure is not a reflection of your ability, and sometimes it is just timing. And sometimes it just means that you need to leave your comfort zone. So if you're applying for opportunities, admissions, scholarships, that job, expand your course. Do not limit yourself because your yes may just be lying in the most unexpected places. And if no one has told you today, your dreams matter and I am rooting for you. Thank you for listening to my story. And if you like this, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel where I'll be talking more about my experiences in graduate school and my life in Canada, especially providing tips and resources. If you want me to talk more about scholarships and how you could get scholarships, please also comment below. And if you have any dream or anything you want to share that you're pursuing right now, please comment below and I would like to hear from you as well.